So in terms of philosophy, he would never really actually school us on philosophy, me and my sister, unless we asked. Obviously, we were exposed to it quite a lot growing up, just because of his friends who'd come through the house, and like he talked about it a lot with my mum. And a big part of him for grow, for our education, I'd say, happened in the evenings. Like we would, as a family, if it was school holidays, we wouldn't really interact that much in the day, but every evening we come together. He loved cooking, so he'd always do the cooking, and like we just have a meal together, which would always start with a salad, and then you have your main course. And over that, we'd often talk. Again, I don't think we really talked about Kant or anything, but we did do it as we got older. But we talk always about something like politics or something going on in the world that was interesting. And there were things that often overlap. A lot of what my dad talked about overlap with everyday life. Like, for example, his thoughts on beauty and architecture. These just lead to normal conversations that you have, which aren't necessarily about the philosophy behind it, but just about the ideas. So in that sense, that's where we kind of got a lot of our education, I often think, is from those dinners. I remember though when I was at school, he did try and, like, in the holidays, he did try and teach me Latin and Greek, and I was quite rubbish at it. But my friend was staying with me, actually. He taught us in the Czech Republic. My friend, we used to go on holiday a lot to Eastern Europe because obviously my dad works a lot there, so he has a lot of friends there. But one time my friend from school came with me and he was far better than me at Latin and Greek, so that was a bit embarrassing.
So there was never any moment where you just thought, "Oh, come on, Dad, stop writing another essay on Heidegger and come kick a football with me"?
Yes, whenever I was playing football or cricket at school, I would resent my parents secretly for making me, like, so useless at it. I mean, on my mum's side, like, her family were, like, really good at sport and cricket. But my dad we never played sport together, and I was just rubbish for the whole time at school. Although looking back on it now, I think that meant I had a lot more fun. Like, if you're in the eighth team, you often have you make a lot more jokes than if you're in the firsts. But there were definitely times when, like, I think I thought, oh, I have why is my family slightly odd? But I think all people think that about their families. But now looking back on it, I'm all the more fortunate for it being that way.
From sort of a personal to a professional, a lot of people resonate with his work through different things. So, like the beauty element, or the architecture, or the philosophy. For
Hmm.
me, the real appeal was reading through the civic duty and localism. For you, obviously, you're in a completely different camp. What part of his work really stands out to you, or resonates now through more with what your daily life is?
Yeah. So I think, I mean, to be honest, the one that connects with me the most is probably the stuff on architecture and the stuff on beauty, but particularly architecture. Like that's the one that I definitely, my dad was with all his thoughts and things, but I don't always think that I have the same opinions as him. And like, I'm no expert on my dad's work, but where I'm definitely aligned completely is with the architecture side of things. I mean, he was just so right about, like, uh the way modern buildings are built. In a lot of cases, not all of them, are just not quite what people want. And also, we're living at a time now in the UK where we're building a lot. We have to build a lot of houses, and these new developments that are springing up are just they're quite sad to see. Like, they're just not. They don't create the same idea of community, or the same idea that they've created a new part, or a new town, or a new part of a town that's worth visiting. And I find that very relevant to my life and relevant to lots of people's lives, especially as I'm at the age where, like, we'll be looking into buying a new home or first home, and you see what people offer as first homes. There's just something often quite depressing about them.